Well, hello, and welcome to Opal City Confidential, episode 69. And we will be covering Starman Volume 1's issues 35 and 36. And we're going to do this, I'm going to try to go a little quickly and have some fun here. So let's get started with the pertinent data of issue 35. It has a great cover by Dave Hoover, our resident artist, even though he does not draw this issue. It's got Mon-El and Starman fighting, and the Swatcher, our new villain, who I really enjoyed. This was cover dated June 1991. Dick Giordano, the executive editor. Writers Peter, David, and Keith Giffen. Oh my goodness, I didn't know this one was coming, and I'm glad I did. Jason Pearson was the penciler, inker Bruce D. Patterson, Tom McCraw, colorist, letterer Bob Pinna, and editor Katie Main. Jason, I want to talk about Jason Pearson real quick because I've never heard of him, and Jason Pearson is an American comic book artist. His career began in 91, working for Innovation he worked on Justice Machine. His first work for DC was in Starman. Pearson probably best known for his work on Legion of Superheroes title. Maybe I have seen him and I just don't remember him. That's kind of cool. I will do a little more digging, but I'm actually kind of surprised. After a quick jump in time where I went back and actually did a little more homework, he drew he drew some stuff in Giffen's 5 years later Legion stuff. It looks like it's toward the middle or the back that I don't remember. But I haven't reread that, and I've been kind of not holding off reading the Momnies, even though I got them, until I finished my reread, or got to there in my reread, not finished, but got there. But I haven't been reading that much Legion. That is going to change. So, just saying. You will have already heard probably an episode, or maybe not, but Kirby's coming on and we're going to cover a couple Legion stories, and I'm going to try to get that back on track with different guest stars. Okay, so and he did that, and he did some Who's Who or DC Secret File stuff. On things I've read, and he did some No Man's Land. So I've gotten all three of the No Man's Land Batman omnis, and they will be read in 2025 as part of the show. But that's cool. I like the art. So let's get back to the other minutia on this book. It stars Starman, guest stars Valor, which is really Mon-El. This was how they kind of dealt with Superboy and Legion and Mon-El. It wasn't the best fit, but I liked the Valor book, and I liked him and Andromeda in as the substitute while they were the substitute. I thought it wasn't the best of both worlds, but I think it worked, and I think he was a good character. And him and Starman are connected because they are at the end of the Eclipso event, where kind of both of them are written out, especially Will. So we'll get to that. We have a new villain. We have the Scarlet Skier, Mr. Nebula, and these are just some funny villains. So let's just kind of, I'm going to read the synopsis, and then I'm going to give you my take on the comic. There is a synopsis in the fandom wiki this week, which I'm glad because it's such a zany kind of comic. Let's do the synopsis. The Swatcher tells the story of how, after accidentally injuring the Scarlet Skier, Starman must take his place and search the universe for planets which Mr. Nebula would deem unfashionable. Unfortunately, after entering the solar system protected by Valor, Starman and Valor get into a fight. Imagine that. Stop. Let's team up. Due to Starman's ignorance of Interlac. Well, I just want to start with the splash page. I really like Jason Pearson and Bruce Patterson's work in this book. I want to say that. And I'm going to go, I just feel bad that I forgot all about him. But splash page is wonderful. I'm using my tablet, but I'm going to put that up on the socials when I post this. It will probably be part of the little, title card I put up because I really did it. I really do like it a great deal. And it starts with narration by the Swatcher. I am Uahu, better known as the Swatcher. I am one of a race of beings who are forever destined to observe the fabric reality being woven, and yet never I am allowed to alter it. But if such were my prerogative, then such I would do for the being known as Starman. For in a universe of gentle, harmonious colors, Starman is suddenly about to find himself back to the fuchsia. I love it. I work for a theater company, and designers, I would say that was purple, and they would correct me. The pink purple is fuchsia. So I like that. That pun made me laugh my ass off. And it's just, and then you see him flying through space. He's testing stuff out, and then we get to see, this is Giffen at his comedic best. Him and Peter David. We know he can write comedy. He seems such a serious man. I wish I'd met him, or at least seen him on a panel or something. I heard he'd be a bit curmudgeon-y, but I'm a bit of a curmudgeon normally, so I get it. But then we get to see the Scarlet skier, and he's like water skiing. He's got a little thing, and he just basically here's his thoughts. I hate him. I thought I was free and clear of him. But no, he snatches me up from Earth and sends me out to find more planets for him. Give me a planet on which to express my artistic soul, he tells me. Day and night, night and day, and night, wrong or right. I'd like to express myself all over his face. At least there's one thing to be thankful for. There's no intelligent life form within 1,000,000 light years to see his god-awful getup he stuck me in. In space, there is no sound. That is the first part of this, and it's just a single panel, and I will be saving that, of Will running into the Scarlet Skier, and his Scarlet Skier's constant falling apart. It's great. And then we meet the Swatcher. He goes, I'm Mr. Nebula. Or he's Mr. Nebula, and he has the worst costume you've ever seen, and he torments Starman on how, so, you've messed up my guy, so you're going to go look for a planet for me. I love it. It's just really zany. There's some great stuff. He puts Scarlet Skier inside his jacket pocket. Will's like, this is ridiculous. Look at you. You're fine. There's no reason I have to do your job. Oh, yeah? There is a reason. That you gave me an excuse, a break from this outfit, and from his yammering. Planet location agent for a cosmic interior decor? How do you stand it? By being sober one day in 3. And what if I can't find a lifeless planet for him to redecorate? Oh, no. You missed the point. They must have life on them. He sees his mission as saving the great unwashed from ill-conceived design concept. He needs the applause from the grateful masses. He came to your planet, but the presence of Las Vegas convinced him it was tacky enough without his help. Other planets, though, don't have a choice. Great. I love it. It's great. He has really just tackiness. We get to see them interact a little bit. Mr. Nebula going, blast and double blast. He left me before I could do a thing with that horrid costume. He could wear mine any day. You really have gone back to Earth. Earth, piffle, of course not. I did give my word. Wait a minute. A moment now. What was that mutinous remark about the outfit I designed for you? The outfit burst forth from my artistic brow. Mommy. Okay, time for a little sidebar. Guys, I'm old. I just thought these characters were knockoffs just for this issue. I didn't remember them, but they're from Justice League. Nort battled them. Why am I apologies, bad comic nerd. I do these, guys, I have to find holes to do these podcasts and to read the comics. It is my outlet. I wish I had more time for it. It's Christmas. It's work. It's spending time with my wife and my family. I've got the weekend free, so me and Kirby are going to double up. I've got plans for some really great stuff, so you may see less because I'm going to do some bigger things. But I feel bad. I apologize. Let's move on. But then we get Mon-El. And the Swatcher has his introduction to him. I can't even remember what voice he. Anyway, what am I, the Swatcher? No, and Master Hotshot Starman doesn't. Is the big red star is the heart of the Daxam system, and the guy there is a kicking Daxamite named Valor. With a name like Valor, he gotta be good. Kind of like Smuckers. I loved it. So Valor sees Starman fly by, and he slams into him so hard that Starman's going, I cannot take it. Doctor, is this gonna hurt? And then Mon-El punches him, and he flies so hard he crashes right in Mr. Nebula's ship. And we get something for the Swatcher. Two problems here. First, Valor speaks only Interlac, which means I don't believe. So he says, "Quero tu decat," which means I don't believe what you just said. And he responds in English. So they can't communicate. So the fight continues. Stop. Let's team up. This is the perfect example. Starman picks up something, looks like a water heater, and he throws it and knocks Mon-El out. And then we got a great 2-page spread where they're fighting. Some great stuff from the Swatcher. It's very funny. Then we get to see even a better picture of Mr. Nebula. They're confronted. Starman is so dejected. They start talking about other heroes that he's met. Eventually, Starman and... Well, the Swatcher says it. Eventually, Valor and Mr. Nebula reach an agreement of mutual non-aggression. In other words, they said they would leave each other alone. And then Starman and Silver Skier are walking down, and Starman's like, frankly, I'm surprised Valor, his name was... Yeah. I'm surprised he went for it. He was pretty intense. Intense, but not stupid. He knows his limitations. The bottom line is, he caught Mr. Nebula in a good mood. So, hey... How come I could understand them when they talk to each other, but when Valor talked, not when Valor talked to me? Low-grade telepathy. Mr. Nebula loves to make sure everyone in his presence know what's happening. He loves the sound of his own voice. But he's not wild about yours, not to mention your presence causing all the destruction. That's why he wants you out of here. This is a guidance unit to get you home. I suggest you start moving and don't look back. And he throws out. And then the Swatcher. I'm going to give you the Swatcher's dialogue here. So we leave the Scarlet Sea. So we leave. Whatever. I'm going to just do it in my own voice. No. So we leave the Scarlet Skira as he watches the feckless Starman arc off into space. What cosmic thoughts roam through his mind? Does he contemplate freedom forever denied him? Does he muse over the fate of the loved ones he left behind? Does he? Okay, Scare, tell me which material looks better. I was missing. Can't you see I was musing? Frankly, Scarlet, I don't give a damn. Starman flies off, only to be chased by 2 Legion. Present-day Legion thing. It was a nice change of pace, this comic. It was really a lot of fun. You can hear it in my voice. I read it 3 times. This is really even here. I'm reading so many 90 comics that I love. I just really love this issue. It was just a perfect palate cleanse after. The Batman issue was good. I have the Strazewski and Hoover stuff I've been up and down on. The Dave Hoover art with Hanna inks I'm really, really enjoying. It's getting better each issue. But, Len, I've read stuff of yours I loved. I wasn't sold up to this point. But am I sold on the next issue? Let's get to the pertinent data, because that's what's pertinent. So we're going to cover Starman 36, cover date July 1991, another Dave Hoover cover, and it's got Rampage, Phantom Lady, and Starman getting ready to pounce on somebody. I really liked it. I like all these characters. I like what's coming up in this issue, and it's great. Again, creative team Lee Strazewski, Dave Hoover, Scott Hanna, Tom McCraw, Pinna, and Katie Main. Katie Main, I don't know what else you edited, but you're doing a good job on this book. There is no synopsis, so we'll skip over that. It stars Starman, guest stars Jane Payne, Marie Payne, his mom and sister, Phantom Lady, and Rampage. Yay, Rampage acting as a hero. 1,000 antagonists. There's 1,000 Eyes and Colonel Computron, which is this ridiculous character. But let's kind of go through it as we read it. It starts with a missile launch test as the splash page. It's a 3-panel. And basically Starman is dodging these missiles. And it's page 4 before we get to the cover page. But it's some nice action. And as I said, Dave Hoover and Hanna's art is getting better every issue. I really, really enjoy it. It's nice. It's clean. It looks really good on the app. Looks good in the original pages too. But I like he gets hit by the 3 missiles. He tries to avoid them, and he's talking to this general, and he's got fuchsia dye all over him. They were testing him. He was helping him out. And Starman goes back to Star Labs to run some tests. And he's flirting with Kitty, Rampage, the scientist friend. He's like, I really appreciate this, Kitty. And she's like, well, you know how to make a mess. Starman, considering the war, it seemed a little patriotic thing to do. I'm glad. Just be glad that when I created this costume, I also created a way to get it cleaned. Nice legs. Sorry, thanks a lot. How about trading a favor for a favor? Oh man, not another favor today. Fine, here's your crummy leotard. Okay, hey, Kitty, lighten up. After all you've done for me, how could I refuse you? Well, how about a little... Oh gosh, I realize, nice to know you're superhero. Nice to know there's superheroes who still blush. Blush? I don't always feel the temperature change. I know. Your turn to lighten up. Okay, I'm bright. What's the favor? What are you doing this weekend? Kitty, are you asking me out on a date? You could call it, but it's really more an experiment. It figures. I think I kind of like the date idea better. Do you? It doesn't have to be all work. Good. I've been working enough lately. A former professor of mine is a private laboratory. Let's have a break. And she goes, but he needs a safe, compact power. So what you're saying, you see me as just another power source? Then he bursts up. Yes. Okay, I can accept it. Ha ha ha. My goodness. When did you develop a sense of humor? Just recently, when it came back to me with my sense of smell. I like it. Levity looks good on you. Thanks. When do we leave? Friday? 4? I'll book the flights. Don't bother. You'll go Air Starman. Then he visits his mom. And they're having breakfast. And he's talking about the date. And they're like, the weekend. And there's a cereal box that has Colonel Computron on the back. They meet and he picks her up and he flies. I like that they're becoming a couple. I hope they stay this way. It's great. He flies, he lands at this disheveled shack, and there is Professor Harrison. Well, that's his first name. Harrison Haywood. He looks like a comic book mad scientist, and he's got a lost in space robot, which is great. He's a retired Star Labs thing. So he has this he's an alchemist. He thinks he's going to be able to change inert matter into gold. Alchemy is not real, but it's comic book real. So he's shooting a laser beam on it. Will's giving him the power, and all of a sudden, coming through the wall of the house is Phantom Lady, the 90s version of her, who I love. And Kitty's like, what happened? Who are you? Oh boy, that was a kick. Call me Phantom Lady. But enough about me. Take a look at that. Scanning for that transmuter power source, and it's Colonel Computron. And Will's going targeted analysis, metahuman in neutralized mode, no response required. If I was out of these shackles, you'd see who was neutralized. Kenneth? This is Professor Hayward. Kenneth, subdue the intruder. Acknowledged. Analysis, Star Labs, domestic robot model 3, arm intercept, fire intercept. Hold intruder. So the robot's killed. So Phantom Lady tries to give Colonel Computron a kick. Oh my goodness. This Phantom Lady lets everybody know it's called Colonel Computron. It works for a criminal group called Les Milieux. And I think it wants Starman. So it takes Starman rack and all that he's chained to. And Kitty's had enough. She takes off her glasses. She then turns off the thing that keeps her from being Rampage and turns into Rampage. Phantom Ladies, we're going to need something tougher than me. Wow, sisterhood is powerful. Now we'll see. That's telling it. And they follow him out. Rampage tries to tackle Computron or grab him, and she gets shocked. And Phantom Lady shoots. It's been a while since I remember. This Phantom Lady is the one that ends up in Jackson, also is in Manhunter. But it's nice. She fires they try to subdue him. She shoots him with a ray. Kitty's wounded, and a propeller comes out of his back, and he flies off. And that is the end. This was. They're not sillier, but the villain in this and Haywood are light and funny, where the villains in the seduction story were boring and just generic. This was a lot more fun. I love Kitty. I like seeing villains become heroes. I'm a Hawkeye fan. I'm a Swordsman fan. Those are the characters I love. So I really enjoyed this one. And the art was really good. So, Len, you're winning me back. Keep it up. Keep it up. So, folks, that's it for this week. My recommendation of the week is gonna be Star Trek Lower Decks. I know it's not a comic book. It's not a team-up. The final episode dropped today. When I'm done recording this, I'm going to pause to eat my dinner and watch the final episode. I love this show. I love it. It is full of joy and love for Star Trek. It's a love letter. It pokes fun at it. The characters grew over the 5 years. I love the crew of the Cerritos. And if people say it's not Star Trek, you don't get what Star Trek is. Star Trek is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be scary. It's supposed to be dramatic. It's supposed to be about family. The best Star Trek shows are the one where you love all the characters. I love the crew of the Cerritos as much as I love the crew on Deep Space Nine, as much as I love the crew of all the Enterprises, as much as I love the crew of Discovery. It's Strange New Worlds. Yeah, that's Enterprise. All the Enterprise crews. I love this show. I think you need to give it a chance. It is worth your time. They're 30-minute break in the real world, and it's just full of joy and love. And I just love it. It's awesome. So please watch it. So as always, folks, be safe, be smart, be kind to one another, and read some comics.